It's almost that time again. At the moment, Aatrox is the mayor in Hypixel Skyblock, but that's not going to be for long. In 8 hours, the election's open, and in just a few days we will have a new mayor, and that new mayor is going to be Scorpius. For those of you who don't know, Scorpius is a special mayor who comes into office in Hypixel Skyblock on a rotation just like the other special mayors. Scorpius technically has 3 perks. The first perk being Bribe. If Scorpius wins and you voted for him, Mayor Scorpius will offer you coins as a token of gratitude. And the amount of coins you get depends on how many hours you have on the Skyblock. Less than 50 hours you get 50k, less than 150 hours you get 250k, less than 300 hours you get 500k, more than 300 hours you get 1 million coins. So majority of players are going to get a 3 million coins from Scorpius. The next perk is Darker Auctions. Scorpius will intrude in Dark Auctions, increasing the amount of rounds to 6 and offering special items. The last perk being it's a special mayor. It rarely appears. Thanks for that one. Just like with every special mayor, there's a way to make a ton of coins, and that's what we're going to be taking a look at today. Of course, if you vote for Scorpius, you get 1 million coins, and that's great. You get a 3 million coins. I guess that's good if you want 1 million coins. It's nothing crazy though, is it? However, if we combine Scorpius's Darker Auctions perk and the fact that it's a special mayor, meaning that it only appears, very rarely, then we can make a lot of coins from those 2 perks. Right here we have the items that you can drop from a regular Dark Auction. But what we really want to look at is the Darker Auction. In addition to the regular items that we can actually get, we also have things like the Plasma Nucleus, the Hegemony Artifact, the Flower Minion, which I'm pretty sure you can get anyway, I don't know why it appears there, the Midas Staff, which is really important, and also books like Vicious and Big Brain. It's important to know that those items only are actually obtainable during the Darker Auction. The only way you can get it is from the Darker Auction. So our money making methods are going to revolve around those items in particular. But before we get down to the nitty gritty, if you are planning on purchasing anything from the Hypixel store, make sure to use code NITROS, it gets yourself 5% off. Also, you should subscribe to the channel, it does help out a lot. And you should join the Discord server, it's linked in the description of this video. We do Slayers and also Dungeon carries, so if you need carries or want to carry and make some coins, make sure to join. Now, it's important to note, for Scorpius, you're going to need a lot of coins. The more coins you have, the better. The more coins you have, the more potential profit you can make. At the moment, we're about 4 days away from Scorpius, meaning that this is not a bad time to start, getting some coins together. If that's by doing your favourite money-making method like farming or mining, or maybe it's time to start liquidating items such as your Terminator and Hyperion. If you do go down the liquidation route in terms of just making a lot of your profile into coins rather than items, so you have more money to spend in the Darker Auctions and so on, then try not to get yourself into a bit of a war with people trying to undercut you, eventually losing more and more coins. It's not very good. But that actually is our first money-making method. Before Scorpius, this is a prime time just a few days before or during Scorpius, when people realise it's Scorpius, a lot of people do liquidate their net worth in order to get coins to spend. This presents quite a big opportunity for everyone who's lurking with coins already, considering they can simply auction house flip items, not even Dark Auction items, just regular items that are in pretty high demand, because people actually start to panic sell. Popular items such as Necron Armor, or any Wither Armor for that fact, Shadow Furies or any sword with decent value, and I guess pretty common pets too, will all technically go down a little bit in value. Or in some cases, they'll be massively undercut by people getting into wars where they just want to sell their items, and that's where you come in and can simply just snipe up any items that you see. So we can make money from just simply lurking around the auction house and not even having anything to do with the Darker Auctions. Okay, it's also important to know how the Darker Auctions items work in terms of the price, because some items like the Midas Staff are only obtainable during the Darker Auction, and that Darker Auction doesn't happen very often, only once every few months. Meaning that essentially those items are actually going to be at the cheapest during the Darker Auctions and the Scorpius, and they're going to peak way further when there hasn't been a Scorpius for a while. Meaning that during Scorpius, if you're able to go to the Darker Auction over there in the woods, or just go to the auction house and take a look through, and basically just invest in some items, and probably wait just a couple of months, and you're able to sell them on for a big amount of profit. Now that's okay if you're looking for a long-term investment. I use the Midas Staff as an example because, well, it just is only right to do. It's probably one of the most demanded items that you can actually get from the Darker Auction, and is in ridiculously high demand. Now, the 100mm Midas Staff varies in price, especially from the Darker Auction. Like we see here, I don't know how long ago this person actually bought this Midas Staff from the Darker Auction, The person who's selling it probably didn't buy it. However, the price paid for this Midas staff at the Darker Auction was 171 million coins. Now this is the cheapest 100 mil Midas staff on the market, and it's currently going for 328 mil. Meaning that obviously with the enchantments that have been put on, the Recombobulator, the Fuming Potato, all the Hot Potatoes and the Stars, maybe paid 200 mil, and now selling it for 128. Profit. I mean, that's in theory. Like I said, the person who actually is selling this right now probably didn't buy it from the Darker Auction. But what's important to note is an item like a Midas staff only actually hits its maximum stats once you've paid over 100 million coins for it at the Darker Auction. That's why you can pick up a Midas staff for 214 million, and that was an 11 mil Midas staff, which is ridiculously cheap. But of course, it's bringing in a lot of profit. But realistically, there's the most demand for the 100 mil or above Midas staffs. And as you can see, if we actually just take a look through, people have paid way more than 170 mil. Some people will get lucky and pay 100 mil. Someone paid 280 mil for a 100 mil Midas staff here, but still selling it for 350. Anyway, aside from Midas staffs, during the Darker Auction, of course, items like this are going to be at the lowest on the AH, such as the Nether Artifact, the Ender Artifact, the Plasma Nucleus, and of course the Midas staff. So this is actually a great time to snipe them and AH flip them. Just like with the Midas staff, of course, these prices of these items are going to rise and rise and rise until we get a Scorpius Mayor, and then they're going to drop because there's going to be an influx of them coming onto the market. It kind of makes sense. There's still the same demand, but there's just going to be a way higher supply, meaning that people are just going to undercut and undercut and undercut. But you don't always have to. Okay, there's a couple of ways you can look at this. If you're looking for a relatively quick flip, then fair enough. By all means, if you see something that's listed ridiculously cheap, then buy it and flip it. At the same time, if you find something that's listed ridiculously cheap, this just means a bigger potential for profit in the future. If you buy the item and hold on to it, give it a couple of months until the prices rise back again, you're going to make even more coins. But of course, that means that you've got money tied up in an item that is just kind of sitting there waiting to be sold. So realistically, depending on how you actually flip, depends on, I guess, how many coins you already have in reserve, and if you need those coins that you've invested quickly. Now, I mentioned before about how people liquidate their net worths during Scorpius or before Scorpius. The smart people will probably have already done that so they don't lose even more coins when selling their items. I've talked a lot about basically auction house flipping in this video. However, it's not just auction house flipping. To be honest, potentially lowballing could be even better. The reason for that is people usually sell items to lowballers when they're in the rush and just need coins quickly and really don't want to wait the time that it's going to take to actually sell it on the auction house. Of course, lowballing is going to mitigate all of that, and obviously you're going to get your items sold much quicker. But of course, people who are desperate to sell their items, even more desperate than usual, the lowballers are not going to get a good price. Especially with the prices on the AH dropping too, this gives you even more reason to basically just present a lower price. Once again, I mean, it's completely up to you whether you flip the items on straight away or just wait a little bit, and once again, that will just depend on how many coins you already have or if you need the coins back quickly. You see, on face value, Scorpius's perks are good. Darker auctions, who doesn't love a darker auction? It's quite fun, you know? It's nice. The million coins is a great bonus too. However, there is, like I've demonstrated, a huge opportunity to make a ton more coins. Now, something I just want to say is to actually enter the Darker Auction, you need to have a certain amount of coins, and basically based on everyone in your lobby's purse, it will generate like a figure of how many coins you'll need to actually get into the Darker Auction, and if you don't meet that figure, then you don't get let into the Darker Auction. You'll have to wait another hour for the next one and potentially miss out on items. So not only do people just need a lot of coins to actually buy things from the Darker Auctions, they need a lot of coins to actually enter the Darker Auctions. Hence why so many people start liquidating so many items and are desperate to sell the things. Anyway, let me know in the comments what you will be doing over Scorpius. Will you be sitting back, maybe get into a couple of Darker Auctions and spend 50 million coins on a flower minion? Or will you be full on trying to make as many coins as possible? I know for me, I'm probably going to be playing most of it on the Iron Man, and I just want a Midas staff, so in the next few days I'm going to be grinding up as many coins as I possibly can to buy a Midas staff. Fingers crossed. But anyway, if you have enjoyed today's video, make sure you do leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one.